All right, and welcome back to That's Some Cheese, part of the Vendetta Sports Podcast Network. Today is Monday, September 13th, 2021, and today, I believe this is Scott's first solo appearance on the show, or am I wrong about that?
First solo. My first appearance was with Kane near the draft.
That's what I thought. So this is Scott Logush. He's been with us for a while. I messed up my words. I'm all over the place. Mainly an NFL guy, but Scott, how are you? What's up?
I'm doing very well. It is a great Monday afternoon, and I have rugby right after this, so this is going to be fun.
I forgot to put this on my list, but college, Scott, has been quite the newsworthy story. So are you enjoying your college experience? Because it seems like it.
I'm very much so enjoying it. It is fun. It is a lot of fun.
Love that. Okay. Courtney here, as always. I guess more recently. Courtney, you've been doing a lot.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're moving up in the world?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right. I'll just go over my list and we'll see how this goes. First item on the list. So we're going to play a little game here. I don't know if it's necessarily a game, but you guys are going to decide what we do with Trey Coleman. Now, I am open to having Trey Coleman or the person I gave him, Dave, in the episode just for a brief moment. If they would like to join in, we can ask them. But Scott, Courtney, you two can decide what to do with this guy. So, little backstory. Trey Coleman is the guy that made an appearance on Tan's show. He's the big Miami Dolphins guy. I thought his appearance went okay. Well enough to where, hey, let's see if he wants to join the pirate ship. He accepted the invite to join the pirate ship. I gave him Dave, who will be handling his audio and video for his podcast. I also gave him Jennifer to create a graphic for his show as well. And he requested that we apply for NFL Game Pass because apparently he wants to do some film blogs. So I had Courtney reach out to the NFL communications department to see if they could work some kind of deal to get Game Pass for us. The only problem is Trey Coleman has no balls and did not show up to SEO training the first time and then didn't show up to SEO training the second time. And one thing I don't like more than anything is people that waste my fucking time. So Scott, Courtney, what should we do with this guy? I am happily going to take any suggestion here. I will fire him. I will give him another chance. I will bring him onto the show to tell him that he has no balls to his face. So Scott, Courtney, what should we do with this kid?
One quick question. Did he have like a reason for not showing up to the SEO training, or did he just no show?
Nobody showed up to the first SEO training, which is a problem. Then we confronted everyone as a group saying, hey, guys, you probably should show up to this since none of you know how to blog. I called Trey Coleman out for having no balls for not showing up. He countered with, I have very big balls. And I countered with, anybody that doesn't show up to something does not have any balls. And he countered with, well, maybe I have planters. So he fully acknowledged that it was a big-time pussy move. He confirmed that he would be there the second time, did not show up, have not heard from him since.
I say just get him off.
I don't know. These moves, what do you want to do?
I don't care.
Because the first SEO, if nobody showed up, then that's kind of like, that's kind of like on everybody. But then the second time, nobody showed up.
I do not grade on a curve.
Chickster.
No one shows up, y'all get zeros.
Chickster asked, hey, who's going to be there tonight? Nobody responded the first time.
Mm-hmm.
When they all confirmed they would be there on the Monday. And then they tried to reschedule it on Wednesday, and he wasn't there, even though he said he'd be there. His actual message was, I ain't got shit to do on Wednesday. I'll be there.
Get him off.
Do what you got to do.
Well, what's your response, Courtney?
Get them off then. Do what you got to do.
Okay. Do we bring Dave on or no? Do we bring either of them on? I could just get rid of him. So
Just
if you want to, if you want some content.
I don't really care. I just thought it'd be
Are
a
they
good
even
game.
going to show up? Are they even going to show up? That's the question.
Yeah. Well, I don't like people that waste my time or Courtney's time, technically, because I had her reach out to the NFL communications department for this fucking kid.
I think they don't either. I think that's a confirmed as a no. They don't have nothing for the company.
Yeah, it's sad. Which leads me to a great transition. So he's gone. Dolphins guy is officially gone then. Which leads me to a great transition. As a company, my goal and part of the goal here, and I haven't really talked about this a ton, is I want to cultivate talent here. I want people to get better while they work here. The only problem is it feels like, and maybe this is on me, maybe it's not on me. It feels like I have become like a guy that has like a very, not even deep roster, but like we have too many prospects in the farm system and I'm just slashing them if they're just like not it. So Scott, do we do a good job of cultivating talent? Do people get better working here? Or the people that have left here, because I don't believe anybody that's actually left here has gone on to do anything in the sports world. Do we do a good job of making people better, or is there a problem within the company that people are leaving and it should be my fault?
Speaking from my personal experience, I feel like throughout my time being here, which the easy way to remember how long it's been is I started like just before the 2020 NFL draft. So for like the year and a half I've been here, I feel like I've improved a lot, not only as a writer, but in other forms like time management and stuff like that. So I think it's more, I don't think it's a you problem or the way everything is run. I just think that's the way it falls. And like you said, don't think anyone who has left the site has done anything in the sports media world. And I think that speaks to they didn't really use this opportunity correctly to then maybe parlay into something else. They're just kind of here, got the t-shirt, and
got the t-shirt. I do want to dive further into this because I want people to get better here. Like I want to create better bloggers while they're here. I want people to improve while they're here. I believe that I want to try to put some kind of either culture or identity or belief system or something to where people show up and they improve over time. I don't quite know if people are doing that, but what I will say is I think I, for the most part, keep a hands-off approach. They are given the full creative control and they kind of have the wheel to do what they want. I don't know if maybe I need to push people more or less. Do you think other people have improved being here? Because I can see some examples where people have improved, but I don't know if we're necessarily doing a good enough job.
I have a comment.
Doing a good job. Okay, you go.
Maybe, do you think maybe you allowing them to have so much like freedom might be an issue? Maybe you should like create a structure. Maybe like you can still have that freedom, but maybe like a structure, maybe. I don't know like what type of structure you can do as far as maybe, I don't know. Let me come back.
Okay.
How I was saying it in my mind, it sounded great.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel people who are with the company and still with the company have definitely improved over their time here. Also, personally, like I remember mainly about Kane, who has gone from blogger to in more behind the scenes work. I feel he has improved as a writer since when he started versus now. Like I feel this company does a good job of helping people develop, but you can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. So I think to a certain extent, it also falls on the individual person to want to get better.
I take almost everything personally, and even if like I always try to, at least in my head, play both sides. I look at things and I'm like, how are we just losing so many people that like don't succeed. And I want to be like, well, is any of this my fault? And then I try to think about it and I'm like, how many of the people I've left have done anything in the sports media world? And I mean anything, like the slightest thing. Like when we start having people that leave here and they go on to do big things, and I feel like it was my mistake for letting them leave somehow, then I'll start losing sleep. But that hasn't happened. Trey Coleman, perfect example. This guy has been given an opportunity to grow his show, to start blogging, to potentially even be a beat writer for the Dolphins. I mean, he does a good enough job. He can get credentials to go into the Dolphins games. He can be on the sidelines for practice and shit. Can't show up to an SEO meeting. I mean, what more can I do for these people?
I don't think you really can do more. And that's where it's not your fault. It's theirs for not taking advantage of the opportunity they've been given.
I agree.
Sad. I also want both of your opinions on this. So, personally, I don't believe I should ever get an email that says person X inactive in Slack.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked this up. It means that in 14 days, they haven't read or sent a message. Seems like an issue. What are your thoughts on someone being listed as inactive in Slack? Because to me, unless I'm like hearing from like, hey, I got like I broke my leg, I'm going to be in the hospital for a week or something. Like if I don't see something like that, I almost think it's a fireable offense and I don't even have to like say anything else.
So based on who those two people were they interns?
Yes, both of them were. Both of them were granted the opportunity to stay. Steven is a TikTok guy, so I mean, I guess he doesn't really need to say much, but we also haven't seen any TikToks go up. So that kind of course, I mean, if he just sends his TikTok in the social media chat, it counts as sending a message.
Right.
So we haven't seen any of those in a long time. Jadell, not sure what happened to her. So, yeah. Scott?
I feel that should be just fireable on the spot, especially considering you haven't gotten a message saying, like, I broke my leg or something else catastrophic has happened. I will not be opening my phone.
Yeah. Don't have much. I mean, I have a couple more company things, but we'll try to get through it. It hasn't taken super long. Scott, you've been here for a while. This hasn't necessarily bothered me, but this thing has stuck in my head for whatever reason. We've gotten a couple comments being like, the audacity for the company to call out employees, or if you want to run the company like this, you go ahead. And Scott, you've been here long enough that you should be able to say, do you feel as if the company has been run differently from the time you have joined? Because in my head, I can't quite understand how people don't understand what they are signing up for. Because I feel like I have been open about it. I have been transparent about it. And this is the way it's going to be. But for whatever reason, people come and go and they can't quite wrap their head around what this is.
Yeah, not much has changed. Like the way you've done it was the way you did it back in April, May of 2020. It is now September of 2021. There hasn't really been there hasn't been any massive change.
Have things changed? Yes, but like,
not drastically.
It would be like a way that something is being done, not like an identity of the company. Like, for an example, now we have an editing chat and people tell me when stories are done in there. That's like the way an order of operation is done. But in terms of the identity or the beliefs, or like, has my personality changed? I don't feel like that. I just can't quite wrap my head around why I'm still getting messages about like, well, why are you doing things this way? You know what you're signing up for. Like, what hasn't been made clear about this?
I feel it's just the company and the way it's been run hasn't changed. Like the whole culture of the company hasn't changed. I just feel it's so different than your typical like side job or college job. People are like, what the hell is this? But then that's on the person to know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, he has made that clear multiple times.
A lot.
Scott,
especially during my internship, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. Courtney, you survived.
Yeah, I did.
Scott, you've been here long enough. I want to know maybe like 2 or 3 things that you've learned either from the company or from myself or maybe like in a coworker, or 2 or 3 things that have been like valuable in your head from you've learned during this entire process.
The people you are loyal to will be loyal to you as well. That's something I've learned here, especially with you. Like, you will go to war for anyone that you believe in, anyone that is on your side. They are on your side. Anyone who is loyal to you, you will be loyal to them, and you will return the favor. So it's a big, like,
that is correct.
If you have your crew, they will be your crew. Another one is the amount of dedication that's required for something like this to run. The amount of dedication that you put in, that other people like Alex and Jackson specifically, like those guys put in, it's something to watch, and it's something amazing. And the third one is respect is a two-way street. If you don't respect me, I have no reason to respect you.
Oh,
and vice versa. If I respect you and someone respects me, the respect is mutual.
Trey goes out of his way to disrespect someone if I feel even the slightest hint of it.
Yeah. I also learned, how really easy it is to get you off my back. Just like a quick message.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So big, like, hey, just communicate. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for people to communicate, which is completely reasonable.
You want to hear a funny story, actually? So one of the high schoolers, Varun, it was like maybe like a month ago. He sent me a message, and I swear to God, this is what he said. He's like, hey, just want to communicate with you. I know that's big with you. It's like, all right, thanks. And that was the only thing he said. Like, he didn't say like what he's doing. He didn't say like how a class is going. He's like, just wanted to communicate with you. And I haven't fucking bothered the kid. Like, that's literally all he said. He didn't say, hey, here's my schedule. Hey, this is what I plan on doing. Hey, this is how school's going. He literally said, I just wanted to communicate with you. And that was the only message he sent. And I didn't bother.
Communication. Hey, I'm alive, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, well, Trey didn't say what to communicate. How to communicate.
Yep.
Just
yep. Yeah. Speaking of which, it was Emma Brown's birthday yesterday. I said happy birthday to her.
Communication.
I almost forgot though. It was like 11 at night. I felt like an asshole. Yeah.
That's what still did it.
Not know it was her birthday yesterday.
I didn't know, so yeah.
Yeah. I felt like a really big asshole.
Well, happy birthday, belated.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Emma.
Yeah. Courtney, do you have anything to chime in on that stuff or no?
I was going to say, my biggest thing is learning to communicate. I mean, not learning to communicate, just communicate. Because there has been jobs, I'm going to be honest, I have not communicated. Like, I'm like, just kind of like, especially when I'm over a job, I don't communicate. But communication is big, especially in something like, especially like here, we don't, like, you don't have assignments, you don't have, like a set time when you're supposed to do this and that, or a set topic or whatever. It's just pretty much just all on you. So
as long as you're an adult and you can just like figure out to do things, it's pretty easy. I feel like, I don't know.
Pretty much.
Yeah. 2 more things on the company stuff.
Okay. Can I just do one more thing on communication? Yeah. So I kind of like end of senior year of high school, I'm putting together a video for my religion teacher because it was his last year at the school, and my class, we were his last class. So I sent a message to the group chat saying, put together a video, just like a quick thank you video, send like a 30-second to a minute clip. and I will put it together and I will send it to him. And I said, do it by like this day. And I put the due date like a month before I actually needed it because I knew everyone was going to be lazy and wasn't actually going to do it. But people either sent it to me. I had a handful of people say, hey, I have exams in that. Can I get it to you later? Yes, that's fine. And then the people who didn't say anything, I was close to like not even doing a follow-up message because it's like, look, I'm doing this. Either send me the clip or just send me like a text saying why you can't and when you can get it to me. So, and that was effective and worked because I ended up getting all the clips for it. And that's also something I learned is how important communication is and how it's not that hard.
Yeah. All right. One last company thing. So Jackson has been a little bit of a Debbie Downer. He was not very happy with the amount of people that watched the Sunday showdown to the point where he wanted to quit doing it for the rest of the year.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a direction for this. All I know is, well, I guess I have two things. Number one, I don't feel like my name should be on every single thing that we do. Like I don't want to do this on Sunday. Like, I don't want to do the Sunday show. We should have enough people to where somebody chimes in or somebody does it. Like, I don't feel as if a company 3 years in needs my name to save everything. That should never be the case, in my opinion. And number two, why does it matter how many people are watching the Sunday Showdown thing? Like, we're getting our Twitch hours in. We need to have 20 in. As long as we're putting in the hours and we're fulfilling the time slot and it's creating revenue, does it necessarily matter how many people are watching?
I think we have to have a certain amount of people. Yeah.
Well, we need to keep the 3 average, right? Or whatever it is.
That's the only reason why I would say it matters.
But other than that, other than keeping the tab open, does it really matter how many people watch?
Yeah, because we can also generate. Yeah. I mean, we could also get more revenue from more views too, but it's kind of like way down the line. So I kind of get what he's saying, especially if we want to grow. But I agree.
1 week. Was this show properly promoted? I don't know.
Did a tweet go out for it?
Was it an NFL chat?
I don't think so.
I know it was talked about in the NFL chat.
Yes. And we've known this was going to happen, but did this thing properly get promoted? Is it fair to judge the number of views on it based on 1 week?
No.
And in my head, I know. Let me pull this up because he said this today. Give me 1 second. 125 live views, 14 max, 66 unique viewers, 1 new follower. Is that really that terrible?
No.
So what's the problem?
I think he just wants more.
I feel like he thinks we can.
I want a lot of things.
Good.
I'm not getting any of them though. You know?
Because we have like 50 people in Slack, and it's like on average like
2 inactive.
Oh, right, 48. Well, no, technically 3. So yeah, I feel like he's saying like we can do better. But it is really all promotion, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't think it was promoted properly. The only thing that really sucks is our fall intern class has been so bad that we haven't gotten the boost I expected. Like, even if our fall intern class was bad, we would have a little bit of a jump, I think. This fall intern class is so horrendous that, I mean, I don't know. Scott, have you seen our fall intern class? Because it is awful.
How are the statistics on the quiz looking?
They all got turned in. But we don't have many of them left.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's It's a shit show.
It is. All right, let me count how many we got left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yikes. I fired 7, I think.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's been bad. All right, let's jump to some football stuff. We've done enough of this.
Yay!
You don't even like football.
Exactly. Yay for you guys.
Well, this isn't on the list either, but I do want to bring this up. Coincidentally, Chickster says he can't do fantasy tomorrow. So I just want to point out the fact that Chickster scored a league. Is it a league low or is it a second league low?
Give me a minute.
Anyway,
are you talking about the show or
no? In our actual fantasy league. So coincidentally, Chickster cannot do fantasy tomorrow. But okay, so he is the second lowest points. He scored a 51 points this week. I scored 158 points for context. So do we think that Chickster is not showing up to fantasy because he only put up 51 points, or does he actually have a legitimate reason for not showing up to fantasy?
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He does have a kid.
Yes, he does.
I will give him the benefit.
I just found it weird.
But the timing.
I just found it weird how he, I put up 107 more points than him this week, and he can't show up to fantasy after he shit-talked my team, and we made a bet on the show that the loser has to do a music video. Whoever, places lower in the fantasy league between us. So I found that interesting.
The timing is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say parent-teacher conferences. That's what I'm gonna say. That's a reason.
So you have his back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did see the bet though. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good bet. I can't wait to watch him dance to Short Dick Man. It's gonna be fantastic. That's the song. That's the song he's gonna be made to dance to. Okay. So for those who want to Google that, they absolutely can. It's a great song.
I'll be doing that later tonight.
Don't want no short dick man. That's the one he's going to be dancing to.
I thought you said tick. That's what I was like. What is this song?
Don't want no short dick man. That's the one he's going to be dancing to. Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be great. I want to start with this one because, as I said earlier, part of my goal here is I want to be able to cultivate talent. I want people to improve and get better while working here. I feel like that is a reflection upon myself to make people better here that work here. One of the people that, for whatever reason, has never gotten quite the credit he deserves for cultivating talent, in my opinion, is Sean Payton. And this is a team that a lot of people have written off before the start of the year. I was not one of them, but it felt like a lot of people were just, and I know, listen, their cap situation's a mess. They lost some guys in free agency. Their receiving core is not quite the same. Michael Thomas apparently hates everybody. However, this, to me, is one of the top 5 coaches in the NFL. And historically, great coaches cultivate talent. What we have here is a Jameis Winston situation, who I've been banging the table for. I've always been a big Jameis guy. It was weird to me that Jameis Winston is the NFL leader in touchdown passes this week. He threw 5 of them. ESPN had him ranked as quarterback 27 in fantasy. Scott, what are your thoughts on what you saw from the New Orleans Saints, Jameis Winston, Sean Payton, everything?
I was impressed with what Sean Payton did because a lot of Jameis Winston's touchdown passes were tight end screens and screen passes.
Absolutely, but they all fucking count.
Okay, well, look, every touchdown counts as 6.
Yes, right? They do.
An absolute duck, all touchdowns are 6 points. But there's a lot of screen passes. And to me, one, credit to Jameis Winston because he did have some nice throws in that game.
Yes, he did.
Some tough throws. He had
and let's also give him credit for this. Out of all the teams in the NFL, that New Orleans Saints wide receiver room is near the bottom of the NFL. Like, they don't have the Cowboys receiving crew. They don't have the Bucs receiving crew. Who was their leading receiver yesterday? Was it?
Touchdowns was like a tight end I've never heard of.
Yeah, Juwan Johnson. He was a Penn State guy, undrafted, Oregon guy.
Yards, it may have been Harris.
Also undrafted.
Their receiving can't name them.
Their receiving crew is not good, and Traquan Smith's on IR. Michael Thomas isn't playing. Like,
Michael Thomas hates everyone.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, Deontay Harris, leading receiver, 72 yards.
He's a nobody.
Credit where credit is due. Jameis Winston did very well. And Sean Payton did very well.
Yes. I for another league that's not mine, I picked a fantasy team, and I went like 15 rounds without picking a quarterback, and the only one that she has is Winston and Fields, and Winston's the starter.
Nice.
I believe he was. I don't know if he was quarterback one, but he would have to be up there.
To it.
Yeah, have to be up there.
The only thing quarterback would be a lack of yards.
Yeah, quarterback 27 though for the year. What are your expectations for Winston the rest of the year? I don't believe this is a fluke. I think he's going to have a good year. In fact, I would go as far as to say they got a quarterback upgrade this year. And this is a team that Devin White doesn't force a fumble. And if Drew Brees has like 2% more arm strength, I think they might be in the Super Bowl.
They have an upgrade physically.
Yes.
But what Drew Brees would do before snap, that comes with experience. That's something Jameis Winston doesn't quite have, but that might not be something he needs.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Because, Courtney, if you don't mind looking this up, I didn't necessarily plan to talk about this. It just came to my head. Is it fair to say that Drew Brees is a creation of Sean Payton? Because, let's think about this. Courtney, what were Drew Brees' stats with the San Diego Chargers? San Diego at the time.
Okay.
Because to my memory, they were not very good. And the way we treat quarterbacks today, they wouldn't have been so patient with a guy named Drew Brees. He was not very good with the Chargers. His numbers, the minute he went to New Orleans, skyrocketed.
To what I'll say to that about the patience and that, I feel that has a lot to do with how the CBA is worked and how the rookie wage scale is worked. To where if you pick a guy in the draft, his salary is slotted. Before then, you actually had to actively negotiate. So drafting a quarterback was extremely expensive. So that's why
he was also a second-round pick, so he didn't necessarily kill you.
Well,
but if you were going to go pick the next guy, he would kill you. So that's why I feel teams back then were much more patient, simply because the cost to start all over again was a lot higher than it is now.
All right, Courtney found his stats. Can I read you his stat line, though? I'll skip his rookie year because he only threw 27 balls. So his second year, I don't want this to play in my ears, 60.8% completion, which is fine. 17 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Today, if someone did that, they'd be freaking out. Starting quarterback, 17 to 16, touchdown and interception ratio. The following year, this is in 11 games, his third year, 57.6%, 11 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Could you imagine today if a highly drafted quarterback in his third year had an 11, what did I just say, 17? I just exited out. 11 to 17 touchdown interception ratio. He'd lose his job. He'd never start again.
I can think of a quarterback that had a 9 to 11 touchdown interception ratio, but has a job still.
Who's that? In his third year?
Yeah.
Who?
Take a guess.
9 to 11?
Yeah.
It's got to be old.
He is active right now.
No, I'm saying older. Like not like recently.
No, he's young.
Really? Hang on. 9
It's
to
your guy,
11.
Sam Darnold.
Okay. Okay.
So people will. So. It's
And
not
how do people
instantly
view Sam Darnold right now?
better?
Does anybody really
That's
like
also
Sam
because
Darnold
the
except for like me?
situation- No, I wouldn't. Well, Dan Orlovsky.
Does he? I
Dan
didn't know that.
Orlovsky.
Okay.
Well, he was a massive Wentz defender, so I feel like you two would get along pretty well.
Interesting.
But
I don't know. I feel
Panthers
like
like him enough.
Sean Payton, man, I don't feel like this guy has been given enough credit. I really don't. I think Winston's really going to have a good year.
Well, he already is having a good year.
Cultivating talent.
If he has a 2-to-1 touchdown reception ratio, that's a great year.
Right now, he's got a 5-0.
And that is one game. That's it.
All right. Let's talk about your team because you sent me this, and I don't necessarily know where you're going to go with it, but you said Steelers' massive problem. So what is exactly the massive problem? Because they won yesterday.
Piss poor. The defense had to play a perfect game, and even then they barely won.
It's also the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
Probably
But
the second best team in the
Ben
AFC.
Roethlisberger was just missing throws, like high, and these are like routine throws that you have to hit as a NFL quarterback. To where this offense is just uninspiring. If not for the defense playing a perfect game, they would have lost, and they would have lost by a lot. But TJ Watt showed why he is the highest paid defender.
It was that was a game during the 1 o'clock window, so everything was going around. I usually have red zone on, but I don't know if you watched the game more closely. But from the limited I saw, it seems like the offense is more creative with Matt Canada. But I think we're past the point of return here with Big Ben.
Big Ben was bad. Like,
yeah.
It's time to take the dog out behind the barn.
I don't hate that. I hope somebody does that to me one day if I get too old. Like put me out of my misery, man. Like if I start like mouthing off crazy shit and I'm like 80, just do it to me. Like get rid of me, you know?
And it was also like the offense is more creative, but it gets to a point where you just can't execute. And that offensive line really couldn't execute. Big Ben couldn't execute.
In fairness, not a lot of star power on that offensive line either, though. Not a lot of big names on that offensive line.
I've been hammering for the past 7 months.
What were your thoughts on Najee Harris? Now, I don't think there was a ton of running room, but what were your initial thoughts on his Week 1 performance?
All things considered, I like the Week 1 performance. There's still things that need to be worked on.
That's what I would go with. I thought he looked fine.
He looked fine, but a lot of room to get better, especially in the passing game, because there was one pass in the red zone where he didn't get his head around quick enough, and then it was an incomplete pass. To where if he got his head around, he would have had a chance to score a touchdown. So it's little things like that, which he's capable of doing, and he is fully capable of doing this. Yes, but it's those little things that need to be worked on.
My team hasn't played yet. They play tonight, so I don't want to talk about them too much. But I do believe
the Raiders.
Yes, I am. This has come out the next day. I am picking the Raiders, by the way. So Chickster, I am rooting for you tonight, Chickster. I just want that live on camera.
On the record.
Yep, I'm rooting for the Chickster today. I hope my team goes 0-17. But I will say, I do think your team is better than my team. Like an unbiased way. I don't think your team's better than Cleveland. I think Cleveland still wins the division.
Yes, Cleveland wins.
But I think your team is better than my team.
Yes, well, especially since you lost 5 guys to 8.
Yep. Fuck you, John Harbaugh. I blame him, by the way. I don't think it's an accident these guys are getting hurt in practice. I think he's being an asshole. Like, you guys just drill each other or something. I think it's him. I'm blaming him.
Okay.
How is any other team having this problem?
No, I've heard
This is the same coach that has won 20 straight preseason games. That tells me he gives a shit about practice.
Was it worth J.K. Dobbins' ACL?
He gives a shit about the preseason games. This is a guy that puts his chips on the table. We're going to practice hard. We're going to play hard in the preseason. I blame him. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence. Yeah, not just two guys in back-to-back plays. The day before, Justice Hill tore his Achilles in practice. Like, don't think it's a coincidence. I think he's an asshole. I hate my team.
Fishy when you have that many injuries.
Mm-hmm. I think he's an asshole.
Like that tiny.
Hate him. Hate him. I hate everything about this team, except for the color purple. I love the color purple.
And except for when you take over head coach.
Oh, they drive me nuts. All right. I think we're on the same page with this one. I don't believe Justin Fields should start. I don't give two fucks what anybody else says. This is about this is about the long-term development of Justin Fields. The Chicago Bears are not winning the Super Bowl this year. Therefore, why does anybody fucking care that he's not playing right now? Has anybody said that the Kansas City Chiefs made a mistake because Patrick Mahomes didn't start week 1 of his rookie year?
No one's smart.
Nobody has said that. And the truth of the matter is, Patrick Mahomes, and I don't care what anybody says, that guy was a fucking mess at Texas Tech. He was a mess. A total mess. His footwork was terrible. He was throwing the ball all over the place. Wasn't ready to play. Now, I think Justin Fields should be ready to play. But the fact of the matter is he's only a 1-year college starter. He's only had 12 college starts in the Big Ten. And how many good teams is Justin Fields playing against in the Big Ten? Now, he beat the shit out of Clemson.
He did.
And I think he's very talented, and I think he's more ready to play than Mahomes was. But what is the rush here? Like,
there shouldn't be any.
No!
Because here's the thing, and here's what's infuriating about the Bears. They had such a good roster from like 2018 to even like 2020.
Yes, they did.
But they wasted it on Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they got the quarterback, but they don't have the roster. And they don't have the offensive line. That offensive line is horrible because the Bears decided to cut Charles Leno for no good reason, and Tevin Jenkins is hurt. I don't know how, but he is hurt, and he is on IR. And Justin Fields likes to hold on to the ball and make plays. You can't do that, again, with behind this offensive line. Andy Dalton had the third quickest time to throw in week 1. The third quickest. And he still got beat up.
I just don't understand the argument of why people need to see Fields. Like, what is like the argument here? What's the argument here? Oh, well, he's better than Dalton. I need more than that. Give me something more than that. Because I'm concerned about what Fields looks like 3 years from now. I don't care what he looks like today.
The only other good reason would be to save Nagy and Pace's jobs, which you could argue
that's not a good reason.
Which is a bad reason.
I don't know if you'll agree with me on this. I actually think Nagy has gotten an unfair shake.
I like Nagy. I don't like Pace.
Yes. I think the hate – yes. I think the hate around Nagy is totally unfair, especially because he wasn't there when they drafted him.
Yeah. Like, with Nagy, if you have, like, if he's in meetings ready to be fired or with ownership, I fully support him. Bringing up his PowerPoint and going, you gave me this to work with.
And there were moments he got that guy to the playoffs and won more games than he probably should have. They won a division 1 year. I know their defense is awesome, but something.
You can't win a division with just a defense.
Yeah. He moved the chains at least.
Which is impressive.
Yeah. I know you have a bone to pick with Joel a little bit.
I do.
Yeah. Blueprint. You're on him.
This guy.
I was giving the thumbs up and thumbs down.
I appreciated that. I appreciated that.
I'm curious on the brain on this kid. I don't quite know what to make of Mr. Joel yet. He's something. I do have to point out, I don't know what's going on my eyes. I think they're like changing colors during this.
Nice. There's no blueprint to beat Kansas City. Your blueprint can't be get a fantastic front four and drop 7 guys in the coverage. That's not a blueprint. When we talk about a blueprint to beat a team, we talk about this is what you can do schematically with everyone you have to beat this team. You can't schematically get.
That's like saying, okay, maybe quarterback X, he doesn't see this coverage well. His numbers are down every time. Yeah. Like something like that would be.
Yeah, it's like it's coverage rotations. It's different looks. It's not get a good ass front four, which is what I think Joel said. That's not a blueprint. A given team can't do that.
I did laugh.
Even then, it didn't work.
I did laugh at the idea that the Chiefs have been figured out. That's something I didn't expect to read in the company Slack. That the Chiefs have been figured out.
They have not been.
And they won't.
If they have, you're not stopping them.
And they won't ever be figured out.
Because Andy Reid is just too good, and he finally has a.
They are a Big 12 team that is on crack.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
The Chiefs have been figured
fun
out.
To watch.
That was my favorite comment in the company Slack Sunday. The Chiefs have been figured out.
Who said that again?
Joel.
Was that Joel? Okay, that was Joel.
Yeah, Chiefs have been figured out. Blueprint.
No. It's not a blueprint, all right? I've done work in construction. That's not a blueprint.
Yeah. Speaking of that game, though, and this has been something I've been on for a long time. Baker Mayfield is not an elite-level franchise quarterback. He's just not.
Holding the Browns back.
He's just not. There was actually a stat out there. No quarterback
has no more fourth-quarter interceptions.
That's not the stat I was going to bring up, but that is true. No quarterback this weekend, and I think the stat was 3.8 seconds, had more time to throw than Baker Mayfield this weekend. That's a long-ass time.
Longest time to throw. 3.09 seconds.
Okay, so I had the time wrong. That's
a long time to throw.
That's a long time. He doesn't get sneezed on the entire game. And we already know he's not very athletic. So this is not someone that – he's not Kyler Murray back there.
He's not Russell Wilson.
He's not going to handle – he does not handle pressure well. And the year he did get beat up with Freddie Kitchens, we know how that went. He's got one of the best offensive lines in front of him in football. I don't even care.
One of the best supporting casts.
I don't care if Beckham is healthy or not healthy. Chubb is unbelievable. Kareem Hunt, unbelievable. Jarvis Landry is very good. How many teams have 3 tight ends like them? Like nobody has a tight end. They got 3.
Don't even have 1 tight end.
They have 3 that can play. Njoku's a first rounder. They paid Austin Hooper a lot of money for. I don't know why, but he can.
Much money, but he's a starting.
He can at least play. He can at least play. Harrison Bryant was awesome as a rookie. That's a game the Browns should have won.
That's a game that Baker Mayfield wins if he's an elite franchise quarterback. If he wins that game, you pay him. But he didn't. And
I've been saying this for a long time. Since draft day, you can't pick that guy with the first pick in the draft. He's a 3rd, 4th round talent. He's not good enough to be the leader of a team that wins you a Super Bowl, and they're fucking good. This team's good. Sam Darnold wins that. I don't care what anybody says. Sam Darnold wins that game.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, I would.
Well, you are, but I wouldn't go that
Sam
far.
Darnold wins that game.
To be fair, the optics of it and throwing the pick on the last drive, to be fair, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It looked like he was trying to throw it away, and then he just got his legs taken out from under him and then went straight to the DB. But still.
I don't think he's very good.
He's good in structure. And there are a lot of quarterbacks who are good in structure. But when the chips are
Case Keenum got to an NFC title game in structure.
Exactly. When the chips are down, and you need someone to make a play.
It's not good
elite
enough.
Franchise quarterback will make that play.
He's not good
We
enough.
saw what Brady did on Thursday night. His receivers weren't helping him nearly as much as the Cowboys supporting cast was helping Dak Prescott. There were drops, there were fumbles.
Can we talk about? I know it was a Thursday game. Where would you rank Amari Cooper? I think he's fucking disgusting. That guy can't be covered.
Top 10. Easy top 10. I only watched like half the game because
I am floored. Every time I watch Cooper, he's like 2 yards open, 3 yards open, 4 yards open. There's nobody around him. He's nobody around him. And the yards and all the statistics of Dak before they traded for him are night and day. Like before they traded for Cooper, he was like a below average quarterback. Like I remember, and I don't necessarily agree with this. I don't agree with it, but Cowherd was comparing him to Tim Tebow. And people were like, oh, maybe that's reasonable. Yeah, they were. Cowherd was comparing Dak to Tebow.
Is this college Dak or is this like
no
right now Dak?
Before they traded for Cooper. Okay. He was doing segments that Dak was Tebow.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily agree with this, but he was pulling up statistics and they weren't that far apart. His numbers pre-Cooper, I mean, he wasn't very good.
They were rough.
Every time I watch Cooper, I'm like, this guy's fucking gross. Oh, my God. Whew, he's always open.
I feel like Alex just hates him.
The Raiders are dumb. The Raiders are dumb because Cooper didn't look like this on the Raiders.
We got to send like Alex and the Raiders to like couples therapy or something.
I think me and Chickster could go to therapy together. I think that would be fun.
That sounds like a fun time.
I would hold his hand during it.
Sure.
Oh, I can't wait. I don't want to make the appearance on the fantasy show, but I do have to mention the fact that, he's not showing up because his team was really bad this week. After he shit-talked everyone else's team and said his team was the best. So
you're gonna make an appearance. Watch.
You don't want
send me the link.
Oh, I was thirsty for that link last week. Yeah. All right, two more things. I felt like I knew this was coming, but I didn't really realize it until I saw it. Good God, Matt Stafford. Whoa. I don't necessarily have like an analogy for this. I know Ryan Russillo, and I thought this was awesome. He compared Stafford to Kevin Garnett getting traded from the Timberwolves to the Celtics. I thought that was awesome comparison. This is going to be awesome.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Because Stafford can run the in-structure stuff that McVay had to spoon-feed Jared Goff. But he can do so much more.
Oh, that first throw to
12.6 yards per attempt. That's ridiculous.
That first throw to Van Jefferson was sick. And that made me so happy because I've been a Van Jefferson defender, and that fucking guy looked awesome this week. That was great. He was probably the best receiver on the field, Van Jefferson. He made some big plays.
Matthew Stafford.
That's gonna be.
He also looks so happy.
Oh, he did. He did.
So
this made me think of something. I want to bring this up because I don't quite understand why people hate certain quarterbacks. I will always defend, and this is in life, I will always defend someone I feel like that got an unfair shake, whether it be anything. Like they grew up with bad parents, they're poor, they I don't know, they're stupid, but they're try. Tanner Pike. He's trying. I will defend. I'm defending Tanner Pike. That fucking kid. I don't know how smart he is. I think he might be dumb, but he's trying. He was dropped on his head as a kid. He said, he was given an unfair shake, but he's trying. I will defend that guy. Matt Stafford, man. I don't get the people that hate him. It's like, how can you hate that guy?
He loves being on a good team.
This is the only good team he's had. The only.
That's what I mean.
The only good team he's had. I think they might win a Super Bowl.
They're contenders. They're Super Bowl contenders.
They have to be. We do have Bridgewater on here. I do want to add one more thing to the list. And then we'll end it up. I think I was kind of going back and forth on this, like Chargers, Broncos, who's better? Because I think the Raiders are our last place team.
Yes.
Chargers, Broncos. Who do I like more? I don't really know. Like one day I feel the Chargers, Broncos. Today, I think the Broncos are better. Bridgewater's going to be fine for them. Their roster's very good.
And also, like, Bridgewater made some nice plays in that game.
Bridgewater's not bad.
He made some nice plays in that game. He was throwing the deep ball, which I don't think many people expected. And he was also extending plays and being shifty outside.
They have good weapons.
Offense.
They have good weapons.
They do. And Garrett Bowles has stopped holding everybody. So
how about that guy?
Oh, well, how about that turnaround? That's a turnaround.
I was convinced he was like unplayable, which he was for.
Turned it around.
Yeah. Who would you rather have, Bridgewater or Kirk Cousins?
Dollar for dollar, Bridgewater.
I agree.
Like Bridgewater for his contract over Cousins for his contract every day of the week. And
I agree. To this day, I still can't believe the Vikings made that decision.
And then they extended him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what do you really get?
That's what happened. That's what's happened to the Bears. The Vikings had the roster in 2017.
The craziest part about this whole thing is like, Bridgewater wasn't going to ask for Cousins money.
No. Because he's just coming off like blowing his knee up.
Yeah. I don't think there was any reason to move off of him.
No.
Or at least when you did, draft somebody. You don't need to pay fucking Cousins.
Because here's the issue. What happened to the Vikings is what just happened to the Bears. In 2017, the Vikings had the rosters where if Kirk Cousins was your quarterback, you would have gone to the Super Bowl. But then you paid him. You have at least been contenders.
I can't put my head
and then that roster
Cousins
started deteriorating. With that 2017 Vikings team, the way they played,
they were good. But
you paid
I hate
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. I hate him.
But you pay Cousins, and then his bank account likes it, but then the roster starts getting depleted. And
I think there's a reason why, his teammates hate him. I hate Kirk Cousins. Like I know Stephon Diggs was like, yeah, I was a bad teammate. I think there's a reason why they don't like him.
There's got to be. I don't know what, but there's got to be.
Because he's not good.
And he gets paid so much.
Yeah. If I was Dalvin Cook, I'd be pissed.
I would be too.
And I know you're a running back hater.
Certified halfback hater.
You're a running back hater. But
Certified halfback hater.
Cook is way more valuable to that offense.
Cook is very nice. Dollar for dollar, like I would rather replace. Here's the issue with running backs don't matter, but some players do, if that makes sense.
Cook matters.
Like Cook and McCaffrey, they matter.
Yes. Chubb.
Mainly because, yes, I love that Chubb contract because it's actually very cheap.
Chubb matters.
But it's also because with Kirk Cousins,
you know who else matters?
Who else?
This is coming. DeAndre Swift fucking matters. That guy's good.
You know what? Here's the only positive thing I'll say about the Lions, aside from DeAndre Swift. Jared Goff throws a nice ball. It just went straight to Dre Greenlaw for the touchdown.
I think DeAndre Swift's good. Like really good. Like really, really good. All right, one more thing on my list, and then we'll wrap this up. I found it interesting. There's a Trey hater on social media, and he's got something coming for him. I found it interesting.
49ers.
Oh yeah, 49ers fan 69's got something coming for him. I don't know when this is coming. I don't want to jump the gun, but this fucking guy's got something coming for him. I found it interesting that I've been banging the table. Dude, Brandon Ayuk, he's just not it. Like, stop trying to make it happen. He's not that talented. Deebo Samuel is way better than him. Brandon Ayuk, week 1, couldn't beat out Trent Sherfield? Found that weird. Trent Sherfield, undrafted guy. Couldn't beat him out. Now, this is the same guy. Remember Kyle Shanahan pre-draft that he had Brandon Ayuk, the number 1 receiver on his board.
Ready to take him over Judy.
Yep.
Jefferson, everyone else in that draft.
Yep. So this is a guy that was hyped. I don't quite know why. I said he was a slightly better version of it and Kill Harry. He just had longer arms. So I found it weird that Brandon Ayuk, 0 catches, 0 yards. This is the guy that 49ers fan 69 said, oh, this is aging poorly. I don't know. But I've been banging the table for Deebo Samuel, and Deebo Samuel had 9 catches for 189 yards and a touchdown. So I just found that weird.
Just a wee bit. Just a little.
Courtney, do you have any thoughts on Trey being vindictive? Because that's coming.
It's fun to watch.
I don't know right now.
Okay. That guy's got something coming for him. That's all I know, because this is going to keep happening.
I can just see you, like, slowly writing everything down on, like, a massive bulletin board.
Deebo Samuel fucks. That guy is good.
Yes. Yes, he is.
That guy's good. And I got ridiculed for saying he's the best receiver in that draft. And I know Metcalf's a freak show. And I know A.J. Brown's a freak show. I think he's in that tier. I think he's fucking good. He's just not healthy. He hasn't been healthy.
That's the one thing that would be holding him back.
Which is a shame.
Which is kind of shitty.
He led the NFL last year coming off a broken foot in yards per route run separation yardage. I worded that poorly.
Some stat.
He's open all the time.
Yards of separation per route.
He's awesome. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the 49ers fan 69, but I know he's got something coming for him.
Don't know what, but something will be on the way.
Oh, yeah. It may just be a simple retweet of his thing. It may be a screenshot of Deebo Samuel's
It may be an hour-long video. We don't know.
Yeah, but he's got something coming for him. Okay. Scott, Courtney, anything else to add?
Thanks for having me on the show.
You got it. Courtney,
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You stayed quiet today. Was the show terrible or something?
I don't know much about football.
Okay.
I know the basic.
We talked about other
quarterbacks.
things.
I talked, but I don't have nothing. I don't have much to say. I agree with majority of what Scott said. So.
Okay. All right. That's going to do it for That's Some Cheese. Make sure to follow Logush 52. I haven't said that in a while, huh? Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes.
Still got it.
I've been tempted to do the Sam Pittman. Jackson's a big Arkansas fan. The yes, sir. Have you seen him do that?
Have I seen who do that?
The Arkansas head coach.
I have not seen that yet.
Oh, you got to look it up. Just look up Sam Pittman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's funny. It's funny.
Will do.
Plumber Courtney. I still don't feel right saying that.
I know. I gotta change it.
I know it's a fraud. It's just it's a fraud.
Okay.
It is. Make sure to follow myself, Trey Dalbert. We don't have show handles because we don't have enough social media people. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.